Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with another Oilers video. This time, it's a little bit different. It's not a pregame report, not a postgame reaction. It's not even a trade deadline type video. This is a video that I wanted to make because I was digging through some stats, and I'm very concerned about this team right now. And obviously, we know the concerns around the goaltending. We know the concerns around the defensive coverage. We know the concerns with the lack of depth scoring. But there's one player that is even more concerning than everything that I just listed, other than maybe the goaltending. I still think goaltending is number one, but this is incredibly concerning, and I don't know what to make of it because the sample size is fairly small. The sample size that I'm going to talk about is only 10 games, but it is significant enough to notice a trend and see some underlying things that are not very good. And I don't know what the answer is to deal with this, but let's take a look. This is Connor McDavid since January 27th. In 10 games played with Leon Draisaitl, they are being outscored. However, their advanced metrics are strong. So they're just getting PDO'd a little bit. They're getting goalied when those two are on the ice together. They're way out shooting their opponents, way out chancing. That is not what the concern is to me. My concern is Connor McDavid without Leon Draisaitl. Without Leon Draisaitl since January 27th at 5-on-5, he's been outscored 1 goal for, 9 goals against, and the expected goals for when McDavid is on the ice is 40%. That is really, 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 really bad. Like, we've never seen Connor McDavid be this, or struggle this much in terms of his effectiveness when he's on the ice. He has been a play driver his entire career, but we are witnessing something that we have not seen in oil country, and that is a Connor McDavid that is struggling to even play above water. He is so far below water that he is drowning, and the rest of his line mates are drowning when he's out there. And I don't know what is going on with him. Before the Four Nations, there was a lot of talk about this team. You know, they have a flu bug going around the room. That's why their play has kind of dropped off. When they come back, they'll be well rested. They'll be good to go. That hasn't exactly been the case. In fact, the team has been playing much worse since the Four Nations break, and I don't know what's happening here. When you look at Leon Draisaitl since January 27th, that was that win against Seattle, by the way, if you want to know what that specific game was. In his last 10 games played, outscoring his opponents 5-2 at 5-on-5. The expected goals for is almost 50% when he's on the ice. Not quite 50%, so even he is still like just treading water. Draisaitl has been the biggest play driver on the entire team, and he's still not breaking above water in terms of his impacts. His impacts are his individual ability to break a game and take over. We saw that last night in the Florida game, his individual effort to score that beautiful goal to extend his goal scoring streak to 7 games. And when you look at the team without McDavid or Draisaitl on the ice, their expected goals for is 44.95%. Their actual goals for is 47%. So this clearly shows that right now the team is actually in a way worse position when they put Connor McDavid on the ice than when they don't. And we saw Knobloch put Draisaitl and McDavid together briefly a couple times in this 10-game stretch. They played 89 minutes together in those 10 games. And I don't blame him because that's the only time that McDavid is above water in terms of his impacts on the ice. It's the only time that the Oilers seem to have the puck more than their opponent. And I don't know what the actual answer is here. I don't know what's going on. I don't ever like to speculate on a player's personal life, their injury history, if they're sick. That's not what I do on this channel. What I do is I look at the data and then I try and interpret it the best that I can as a fan and as someone that likes analyzing data. And it's pretty obvious right now that the goaltending is obviously sinking Connor McDavid more than the goals for percentage should show. Expected goals at minimum, this should be about 4 goals for, 10 goals against. I would think personally, kind of around that range. But this is a very, very concerning sign for Edmonton, and it makes me think. It truly does make me think that Connor McDavid is nursing an injury that nobody is talking about or knows about, and he's trying to play through it. So what I would do, and this is big brain. Someone actually pointed this out. Someone suggested this on Twitter. I got to give credit to Tyson for this one on X or Twitter.com. If McDavid is hurt, I would shut him down for a while. I would shut him down. I would throw him on LTIR and clear up. $12.5 million in cap space for the trade deadline. And you would have to keep him on LTIR for a very long time, because when he comes back, obviously, if you use that LTIR space and then you want McDavid back in the lineup before the playoffs, which I'm assuming they would, I think it would be very difficult to ask this team to play without McDavid for about a month. But that would open up a lot of financial wiggle room to acquire some decent players that can help Leon Draisaitl out and can help the team out as a whole. Because right now, Connor McDavid is detrimental to the team when he's on the ice. Yes, the goalies should be making more saves than they have been when he's out there, but the advanced analytics also show that McDavid has just been absolutely atrocious. And we've seen it, right? This is not just the numbers. Like, we can see it with the eyes, our eye test. I know everyone watching this video sees that. We've been seeing it a lot this season. A lot of us have known that McDavid doesn't look 100%. And aside from his game winner at the Four Nations in that championship game, he still didn't look 100%. And he wasn't 100% going into the Four Nations. He had that game where that first game against the U.S. where Charlie McAvoy absolutely leveled him a couple times. Not saying that any of those hits did damage, but they were pretty hard hits, and you never know. You never know. We've seen different Oilers over the years try and play through core body injuries. Darnell Nurse played through an injury for a couple years. Evander Kane most recently, they had to force him to shut down in the Stanley Cup final last year. We've seen this. We've seen players try and play through it. And Connor McDavid is someone, he's full of pride, he's full of passion, he wants to win so badly, and unless he physically cannot get out of his bed, he is going to play. But at this very moment, right now, in my personal opinion, I think it would be better if the Oilers gave him an extended period of rest. He did not get 2 weeks off when everyone else did, when it's very obvious that he needed that 2 weeks off. I think for the Edmonton Oilers, it would be beneficial not only to the group, but to McDavid himself to give him some rest. The Oilers did give themselves a good buffer in the standings to, load manage if they wanted to. The losing streak is obviously not ideal. The losing streak is creating a situation where he may feel even more pressure to keep playing. But it's one of those things where, you keep playing, you're actually hurting yourself and you're hurting the team more. So I want to know what you all think at home. I want to know what you think about Connor McDavid. Do you think I'm overthinking this? Am I overanalyzing McDavid's struggles? Is this just a team thing? Is it just the team in general in a rut? Is it a coaching issue? I truly want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, I will have a trade deadline video coming up as well very, very soon. Tomorrow, keep an eye out for the pregame report between the Oilers and the Hurricanes. The Oilers need to find a way to get out of this rut, and they need to find a way to get out of it very, very quickly, or they're going to start dropping in the standings very, very quickly. And for Connor McDavid, I really hope he's okay, and I hope he's able to turn his game around, and I hope the team in general is able to turn their game around. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and of course, tell someone that you love them. Fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you in the next one.